Okay, thanks so much. I see we have a very active chat today, which makes me very excited. It's like, it's fun just kind of to hear people give some noise. So if you hear me, go ahead and say hi on chat. My colleague Tanya is also going to be moderating chat. And if you have any questions where you need links or resources, she can put those in there. All right, very active. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I am Deanne. I'm the founder of Future Engineers. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to get going. And I'm going to talk to you all about using challenges for science education and integrating creativity in your science lessons. And I'm really excited to kick this off. So here we go. All right, does everyone see that? I'm going to move to a smaller view. Let me get situated for 1 second because I just lost my chat. I don't see you guys chatting anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna go. So I'm with Future Engineers. We are a company that specializes in contests and challenges. So we are big believers in creativity and science and engineering. I personally think that every scientist and engineer and science educator out there is one of the most creative people that I know, or some of the most creative people I know. You guys have the ability to hatch an idea on a napkin, ask the right questions, find the right answers, and turn that idea into a reality. And we're trying to do the same with students. And we do that all online through our online challenge platform. So here's an example of, here's our homepage. And you'll see that we offer all kinds of different challenges and they're conducted nationally. So students, you can assign these challenges to your students. They can do them as projects and then they upload their designs to a gallery and they share with all students all over the nation to see all the different creative ideas that students are coming up with. So I'll give a little backstory about how Future Engineers was started, but I also want to point out that Future Engineers challenges are free. So 100% free. This was before COVID-19, it's during COVID-19, it's after COVID-19. Our challenges are free and we leverage sponsors to issue them free to you guys. As well, students can participate at home if they're kicking around in the summer and they just want to do this as a personal activity, they can register on their own. But 80% of our users do it as a class assignment. So teachers can register and create an account. Generate class codes, give it to your students, and you can oversee their participation in all of these challenges. So I'll give a little backstory about myself and about how Future Engineers started. I am an engineer myself. I moved out to LA, drove out by myself to work in the aerospace industry, and I kind of got plucked to host a television show. And I have hosted television shows about science and engineering for over 10 years now. And about 5 years ago, in between TV shows, I was doing some volunteer activity with engineering workshops. And I thought, how can we develop technology to do this on a national scale? And I actually called NASA. I cold called NASA. And I talked to someone about the 3D printer that was going to the International Space Station and ended up looping in the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. And we issued our very first challenge, which was to get students designing a 3D print to be printed on the International Space Station. And what you see here was the result of that very first challenge. It's historic. It's the first student designed 3D print in space. And from that, we decided, you know what? Like, science and engineering is not just about 3D design and 3D printing. It's about all kinds of innovation. So we developed, through the support of the US Department of Education, a multi-challenge platform to issue challenges of all kinds. For example, most recently and famously, we hosted a national naming and essay contest where students all across the country submitted their names for the next Mars rover that's launching this summer. And you can see here the winning name was Perseverance. We have right here, Alex from Virginia is the winner, and he's now a part of history and named the next Mars rover. And I have a little quiz for you guys. All right, let's see. So in addition to the Mars rover, on that Mars rover, there's another piece of technology, and I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but there is a Mars helicopter, and it is going to be the first aircraft to attempt to fly on another planet, which is quite exciting. So I have a question. Who knows the name of this helicopter? And I can't see my chat window, and I don't know why. I'm clearly not an expert at Zoom, but my colleague is in the chat window, and whoever answered the correct answer first, which is Ingenuity, gets a water bottle. Woohoo! Where we go. So the fun thing about Ingenuity, it was actually another entry from the contest. NASA doubled down and said, not only do we want to name that rover, we want to name the helicopter as well. And Ingenuity was named by a student in Alabama, Vanessa, who's an aspiring aerospace engineer. So you might be thinking, all right, guys, all you do is space, but maybe I don't want to teach space. But no, we got all kinds of other challenges. So I am going to give you a walkthrough of a little potpourri, if you will, a little poo-poo platter of all these different challenges that are live on our site now that you can use now if you're currently teaching with your students. And if you are not and you're prepping for next fall, then this gives you a glimpse of the kinds of challenges that we'll offer in the fall. So right here we have the Name That Molecule 2020 Challenge. This is live on our site right now. You can register and engage your students. It is to create a 3D model of a molecule that you see or interact with every day. So they have to submit a digital STL file and a description of their molecule. And I'm gonna also say that I'm in the PowerPoint, so I'm gonna kind of do a top level buzz through all of these challenges, and then I'm gonna bop over to our site and kind of give you a live demo of our site of how these are presented and the different education resources that are presented. All right, next. We're going to go to future creatures. So this challenge is draw how a rainforest animal may adapt in the future due to climate change. So this is a little STEAM action here. So they have to do an art project and show an animal in its present day habitat and how they think in thousands and thousands and thousands of years that animal may adapt due to a changing environment. All right, next, capstone coding. This is like fresh. We just launched our first coding challenge a few weeks ago. Right now it's synonymous with doing a Scratch project. This one's very open-ended. So some of them are very standards aligned and some are really just a maker engineering design process type of activity. So the challenge here is to use Scratch to teach others something you've learned this year in school. So it's a really great way to kind of end the school year for students to do a deep dive in something that they learned this year in school. The Pasta Castle Challenge. So it's kind of a spin on the traditional spaghetti and marshmallow challenge. Make a pasta castle using pasta, marshmallows, and or glue. So there's an opportunity here to talk about physics and structural engineering. And also we added the glue so that people could kind of make some ornamentation and style it up a bit, a little STEAM angle as well. All right, Start a Smile. So the Name the Rover contest, obviously we conducted in partnership with NASA and with Battelle. And we're really happy that Battelle and STEMX came on board to issue a challenge specific to COVID-19. So this challenge is really a community impact challenge. Your challenge is to help smile or feel appreciated. And the person must be separated from you by a window, wall, computer screen, or at a distance of 20 feet or more. And so they, the students submit a series of photos that document what they did to help someone smile or feel appreciated. And this could be low tech, high tech. It could be a technology project, an art project. It's really a very maker-focused project, and you can curate it how you would like with your students. And I'm going to show you a little launch video now of this challenge, so you can see what this challenge is all about. So here we go. Nope. Okay, let's try that again. One more time. All right, so obviously that video is skewed a little young, but I just want to say that these challenges are all full K-12, so you can really dive into it as advanced as you want or as simple as you want. The goal really is that they're open-ended and there's a million right answers, and we just want students to really dive in and invest in a project and build that sense of pride. So the last one, this is hot off the presses. We launched this at noon Pacific time today. So the Bright Art 2020 Challenge. It's to create a piece of art using a battery-powered LED light source that demonstrates at least 2 interactions with light, such as reflection or refraction or such examples. To make your artwork, you can use materials that may include recyclables, trash, borrowed objects, and items found in nature. So once again, our challenges are free, and even when we do issue them, if there's a materials requirement, we try to use as much recycled materials as we can so we can keep them accessible. So this one just launched. It is open until the end of June. So if you want to participate in that, students create a video of their submission and submit it to the website. So I am going to actually pop out here real quick. And I'm going to resume share to my Google Chrome. So here we go. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm just gonna give a little drive through. I know I only have a few more minutes, but I'm gonna give you some examples of where to find the resources on these pages. So as I mentioned, here's the home page. It gives you an overview of everything. This is an example of one of our challenge pages. It's all in a similar template. So you'll see a nice little intro graphic, the challenge prompt, the deadline of when these entries are due. If, for example, the challenges that we have recently been issuing don't have prizes or judging because we just threw a bunch of them up for COVID-19 to make sure you guys had as many resources as possible. If there are prizes, there will be an addition here in this block. And then down here in the dive into the challenge section, we have links and lessons. So if you click on these, you can get slide decks, you can get lesson plans, you can get worksheets. If the challenge involves a digital tool that you need to create the deliverable, for example, a 3D model of a molecule, we also have curated some digital tools for you to use. And once again, our goal is to curate tools that are free and accessible. This section is really, really important though. It's the brainstorm and design section. So for all of our challenges, we come up with these buckets of inspiration. We don't tell any students an answer, but we give them sort of some prods and some things to think about. So for example, with the name the molecule, these are some different possible molecules that they might interact with or see every day. So this is Name That Molecule. We actually conducted Name That Molecule in a beta study with the U.S. Department of Education. And we did it with 40 middle school classrooms, really looking at efficacy of challenges in classroom. And we saw great increases in terms of attitudes towards engineering. And those were particularly driven by girls who really enjoyed engineering more at the end, which we were very, very excited about. So I have some examples of what your students might do for a challenge like this. And I'm going to kind of give you just some samples of some Name That Molecule entries, just to sort of get your gears turning about how you might integrate this with your class. Next, I know I only have a few more minutes. Future creatures, same thing. If you go down here, we've got lots of great resources. We have links and lessons about natural selection, adaptations, genetic inheritance. Tanya, who's on the chat, she is a resident scientist and is awesome. And here's also some examples. So in a photo entry, for example, they can submit up to 6 photos. All right, pasta castle, I told you about that. I'm gonna zip through that. Capstone coating, we actually don't have any entries up for these yet because they're pretty brand spanking new. Start a smile here. This one has been up for a while, so we do have some entries up for this one. And this one really focuses on the engineering design process. So if you go into the resources, there's different links to content about the engineering design process. But you can see here, for example, if I go down to the brainstorming section, you could do a physical invention, a digital invention, a visual, an audible, a low-tech, a high-tech invention. It's really how you want to steer your students and how they want to take this challenge. And so here's some examples, everything from scratch projects to art projects to challenging people to write chalk art on other neighbors, areas, other neighbors' driveways and things like that. And that's it for going over those challenges. I actually didn't have bright art up, but if you go to the website, it's all there. So the important thing to tell you is to make sure you know how to sign up. So if you look in this upper right-hand corner, there is a sign up button. And if you hit sign up, you just want to go here and you will get to a fork in the road, which is I am a teacher or I am a student. So you want to register as a teacher, assuming you are an educator. If you are not an educator and you're registering your child, you would hit student. If you are neither and you want to be a judge, for example, on the Name the Rover contest, we had about a little under 5,000 judges that reviewed entries, and it was amazing. It was so amazing to engage so many people in this national effort. So if you want to judge, you can go up here to judge and you can sign up. But yes, once you sign up, you are going to get a dashboard, and there's going to be a class code, and that class code is super important. You want to take that class code, send it to your students, and then tell them to go to this exact same button, sign up, and when they're prompted, they enter that class code and they will get a dashboard. And I am going to do a new share back to my PowerPoint real quick and just show you what a sample dashboard looks like. So play from current slide, here we go. So this is what a sample dashboard would look like. When you create an account, your dashboard will be empty. For your students to submit, they each need an account. So they each need to register, or you can register for them on their behalf through your dashboard. And then once they link to your class code, they register with your class code, they start populating row by row by row in your dashboard. Now, anytime you want to assign a challenge to your students, you add challenge. And let's say I want to add the bright art challenge. I click add challenge, I add bright art, and then automatically it shows up in a student's dashboard on the other end. So this is an example of a student dashboard. These are not real challenges, they're just examples. But a student can submit their entry through here, and they can submit up until the deadline. And even up until the deadline, they can edit their entry, they can tweak it, they can iterate on it, they can make it perfect. And then once it closes, if we do judging and we award prizes, that process begins with our judge volunteers. What else? We don't have it yet, but we're archiving all the entries, and we're working on developing class portfolios and student portfolios. So if you do 10 challenges with your class at the end of the year, you'll be able to have these portfolios for your students. And one last note on digital citizenship. So our registration system is designed with COPPA and FERPA in mind. We take student privacy very seriously. We obviously have online public galleries. We moderate those galleries, so when entries come in, we review them, make sure they're safe, and we push them forward to the gallery. So we encourage you to please, please, please have conversations with your students about their digital footprint. We want to see a video of their invention. We don't want to see videos of faces and names and email addresses and all that kind of stuff. So please just give a chat to them before they document their entry so that they have the best chance of success when they submit to the platform, so we don't have to kick it back. And last but not least, what are your challenge ideas? Go in the chat, tell us all of your challenge ideas. We are ramping up challenges for the fall. We actually are going to have another new space themed challenge launching very soon, and more on the horizon. So we'd love to hear your challenge ideas. We're here to support you. If you have any questions at all, you can email us at support@futureengineers.org. You can go to our website for everything. I'm not actually going to share this PowerPoint because everything you need is on our website, but I will follow up on that awesome Science is Cool Facebook page that was created with any additional announcements about new challenges that launch, and any additional resources or, I don't know, giveaways or anything we might have. So thank you so much, everyone, and I'll take any questions you have.
Hey, Deanne, thank you. That was really great. Your enthusiasm is infectious. I think everybody's like jumping up and down and excited about it. Really.
It's in there, and it's funny. If you tell me to present, I'm like, all right, let's go.
I see that. You're on top of it. It is great. Yeah, I love her energy. This is really good. I guess you can't see the chat. It's really.
Now I can see it. Now okay. I can see it because I clicked out. Yeah. Okay. I'm still like a newbie. You know, I'm an engineer, and I'm still like a newbie with these webinars, but I'm getting there.
You know, I just shared my whole computer screen for the last break, so I apologize.
I know. I actually messaged you. I was like,
I know. I stepped away, made a cup of coffee. I thought, okay, I thought we were on the countdown thing. I went and made a coffee. Everybody's calling me. My phone's on mute, on silent, because it's been ringing all day. So I was just with my wife drinking a cup of coffee. I came back, and then somebody's got another screen up. So I had my. So I can't.
It's all right. We forgive you. There was nothing wrong.
No, just humiliation. That's
I'm seeing that all these ideas coming in. This is awesome. Sports product design challenge. Oh my gosh, we wanted to challenges with making music and challenges with making sports equipment or prosthetics to play sports. I don't know, there's science and engineering in everything. And that's kind of the beauty, right? It's like we can think of any theme and come up with a really exciting challenge around it. So I love these ideas. Keep them coming.
So, this is an amazing community. This happened in the last Science is Cool conference. The chat was so full of ideas and so full of enthusiasm and positive energy. So this time, we're gonna move this to the Facebook group. So we'll definitely invite you guys to post stuff, contact information, ideas, challenges. So that's going to be a great place for everybody here to meet up. I see Scott is posting it in the link. It's on the conference page. It'll be in the email. So hopefully we'll get you on there. There's a few thousand teachers signed up already. We just opened it this morning. So this
great.
It's going to be a great forum, and it's really for you teachers to share. Because what I see is a lot of teachers are sharing ideas between each other, which is great. Hey, there's a couple of good, probably some quick, easy ones.
Yeah.
Some people asking about the grade levels. Seems like you have all kinds of grade levels.
Yeah, it's a great question. So sometimes when we do a contest that has very broad reach, we do full K-12, and that's really our aim. And sometimes there might be slight differences in criteria, right? So the youngsters might have, they might not have to go quite as detailed in what they submit. There are times where we just really align with the standard. So this is very aligned with middle school standards, and this is, where we're at. But we tend towards national full K-12 right now, but in the future, who knows? I'm going to answer another question I see, just so that I get it out of the way, about international. And that's a really great question. And I know there's so many international participants on today, and I feel bad, but we are set up currently for U.S. Students participating in these contests because of U.S. privacy laws. But we do have interest in going global, and we hope that's on the horizon. Obviously, you can do these activities with your students, and we encourage that 100%. But in terms of winning a contest, we're currently set up for U.S.
So Deanne, there was I'm going to lump three questions into one that kind of touch on that. So, so people ask, do these contests repeat? They look like it's so naming the Mars rover, that's one once and done. But these others looks like they can be kind of evergreen. You can do them anytime. But
such a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep going.
Let me add to that though. So people are asking, can I just do these with a parent? Do I have to be part of a classroom? And then also I would add, kind of the international falls into that too. So it seems like there's a desire to have these as just hey, here's a contest. It's kind of a content that you can use for your school, and just use this method and this content.
Yeah, so it's a really, really great question. So when we started, everything we did was kind of a one-time thing, because there was a one-time sort of prize, for example, naming a rover. But we're not going to do that annually unless there's an annual rover, right? But these other ones that we've developed that are really focused on science standards, those can totally be evergreen. And I think that sort of dawned on us during COVID-19, because we were like, man, this is the time when we should have tons of challenges out. And we did all these challenges for our beta study, back when we were developing the platform, and we were like, these rock, let's just put them back out. And so I think what we're looking forward to in the fall is coming up with some of these evergreen challenges, so you guys can use them year after year and kind of have them as go-to resources. But we still anticipate having these one-time exciting opportunities that, might have a little more sizzle sometimes. But yes, so I think we have a hybrid situation, and we're evolving. And in terms of parents at home, yes, 100%. 100%. Just sign up your student. You can do this at home. Like right now, we definitely have students that do this on their own ambition, just because this is something they find is something they're curious in. They want to, hone their 3D skills over the summer. And then we have some students that do it because their teacher really, incorporates it into the curriculum in their classroom. So either or, whichever angle you come from, you can do our challenges. Was there another question in there? I think there was.
Well, you're onto something, because I think people want to do these all over the place. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's see. I saw Tanya. You have Tanya in answering questions. So it's hard for me to know which ones she's answered. That's why I'm trying not to repeat. That's okay. No, you're not breaking any rules. That's actually good.
No,
right?
It's good. I just knew that I cannot present and double task and answer. So I told Tanya, I was like, go team, let's do this.
So, I tell you, and this happens all day. People are asking for links and materials. We're going to send all this out. Some people are posting it in the chat here. There will be an email. If you're on Zoom, that means the only way you could get in is you registered, which means you're going to be on the email, the ScIC email that's going to go out. Give us a couple days, because this was a giant conference, a giant undertaking. We have a ton of stuff to collect and put together. I see Tanya has put her email in there. I'm sure you guys would love to be contacted on any of this stuff. Hey, I just want to ask one fun thing we chatted about the other day. So when you did the Mars rover thing, you got the like Rover McRover face. I thought that's cute. So,
yeah, I think we launched the Name the Rover challenge, and there was quite a lot of traffic about. I feel like everyone was like, haha, Rover McRover face. But then after, you get like 500 of those. You're like, it's not creative anymore, guys. We're moving on. We need something new.
That was a
No, but it's awesome. I was actually commenting on how Bodie McBoatface, which is the famous naming situation. Actually, they named the little research vessel Bodie McBoatface, and I was like, in my news feed, there was some groundbreaking science research that Bodie McBoatface did. And I was like, that's a great name. It is. It did its job. It's got its attention, and that research vessel took on that personality. And we can't wait for Perseverance to launch this summer and take on its own personality. It's awesome.
That is fantastic. Yeah, well, you know what it did? It got everybody aware of this science research vessel, which, other than that, who cares? It never gets in the news. And that got in the news, and it made people think, and it definitely inspired people in your contest, right?
Yes. There are so many sources of inspiration, and I think you guys all know that. There's so many sources of inspiration. And what our job is over here is to try to think of what those sources of inspiration are and how we can roll those into challenges that really engage students in these hands-on projects. So onward with more science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and creativity. And I can't wait to see what futures we have on the horizon. What future challenges we have on the horizon.
There is a cool question here. I think that is a good one. And that is, what's the usual lead time on a project? So teachers can kind of plan it. So if you're a teacher, how would you plan this year?
Super great question. So typically our challenges are open for a 3 to 4 month window. And we do that intentionally so that when it launches, you'll have an idea about, okay, I've got some time to sort of figure out how to work it in. Because we know, you guys work so tirelessly and so hard to plan how all your curriculum pieces together. So yes, that's the typical plan. These flash challenges, these mini challenges that we launched at the end of the year, they have a shorter window until the end of June, just because we know that school is ending. And it gives us a little bit of a breather. July is going to be a little breather, and then we're going to start looking at August for really ramping up for launching new challenges in the fall. So, and who knows? I don't know. Like, we might have surprise challenges that come up very soon too. So just I encourage you to sign up as an educator or as a student or as a judge, and we'll keep you posted when these new opportunities arise.